calling this meeting, the Morgantown Utility Board, regular meeting to order. We have minutes. It's 2 sets of minutes to approve. Get a chance to look at those. The first set of minutes is the special meeting on February the 9th. Do I have a motion to approve those minutes?
I move to approve the minutes of the special meeting of February 9th, 2024. And maybe I could add the minutes of the regular meeting of February 13th, 2024.
Okay. Is there a second?
Second agenda.
Is there any discussion? Any corrections? Objections? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. All right, we now have the public portion. Do we have any public comments, letters, nothing? Okay. Okay, new business. City of Westover Sanitary Sewer Utility. Hi, guys.
Madam Chair,
Yes, go right ahead.
you want me to podium it?
Yeah, please.
Jason Steinspring is our Public Works Director, is here with me tonight. Nice to see you all again. My name is Tim Stranko. I'm the City Attorney for Westover. Mayor Lucci is ill this evening, and after hearing his symptoms, I think we should all be glad he's not in the room with us. He sends his regrets and regards, and he's asked me to speak for him this evening about what we think is an important moment in the life of our community, which is the opportunity to make things more affordable and more efficient for our citizens in the years ahead. The mayor and council are dedicated to accomplishing those sorts of things for Westover, and they're considering whether combining the Westover sewer utility with the utility board sewer utility and having MUB serve as the sewer utility, whether that would be in the best interest of our citizens in Westover. What are they looking for? Well, what MUB provides, frankly. We recognize that MUB is the first-class utility in the state, and the quality of customer service that you provide, frankly, we can't match it. We do our best, but you have the best career public servants out in the field serving customers. You've got quality engineering staff here. These are things that we think are in the best interest of Westover today and in the future. To support our residential growth and our business growth. Recall, when we talk about Westover, we include what we call West Westover, which is West Ridge, which is in our city, and Gateway is in our city as well. So all that land will continue to develop and become more progressive and become part of the new Westover. So our future is bright, very bright. We're looking for the best cost service for our sewer customers. And I didn't say lowest cost service, and that's an important distinction. You can deliver lowest cost service by not doing the things that a quality utility does. Capital improvement plans, regular maintenance schedules, the things that MUB does as a matter of routine. So the best cost utility service. And most importantly, the best protection we can afford to the watershed. Incorporating the other side of the valley into the MUB umbrella means that we will have a holistic picture of how we manage flows through the watershed. We think that's incredibly important. So what will Westover bring to you? Well, we have no debt at this point, but we'll talk about debt in a minute. We're about to get some. But we will strengthen and expand the rate base of your sewer utility. And again, it would allow for better watershed management, holistic watershed management. And of course, our citizens would enjoy, under MUB's business model, quality customer service and responsive customer service. This is economies of scale that we're trying to harvest here. That is spreading costs over a wider customer base to decrease the overall cost for everyone. And last and certainly not least, it will allow Jason and his staff to focus on support for our new areas, our new retail areas, which we think are a gold mine for the entire community, to become a destination shopping center for North Central West Virginia. Just a few details about the utility itself, and your staff knows more about it than I do, I'm sure. But we've got about 2,300 customers, which is about 1/10 of the number of sewer customers you have. $4 million in gross plant, 21 miles of gravity sewer and 1 mile of force main. And that force main is the force main that runs under the river and enters into your interceptor. 5 CSOs, unfortunately. We're working on a long-term control plan. We're coordinating with your engineering staff on that. As we speak, we're taking flow measurements to make sure we understand the profile of our wet weather issues. Our annual revenue is about $870,000. Yours is about 19 million, so it's a small drop in your ocean. Our rates are right now lower than yours. Just as an example, for 3,400 gallons, your customers pay $33.28. Ours pay $28.98. However, we're about to increase, and that's due to a recent increase. We just did a 9% increase to get to the $28.98 figure. We're about to vote on a 37% increase, which will take our 3,400 gallon rate to $39.61, higher than your Morgantown rate. And that 37% funds an $8.5 million project that Westover is sponsoring, including a replacement of the Holland Avenue interceptor, the pipeline that runs essentially all under Holland Avenue, and the stormwater services along Holland Avenue as well. And then the second piece of that project is the Dunkard Avenue lift station, which is a lift station that delivers flows into that force main I just mentioned. Needs to be rebuilt. We'll bid the project in June of this year. We expect to bid it in June. Construction to begin August or September of this year. Bids willing. We expect to finish the Holland Avenue piece of the work in 2024. It's about a 3-month project or so. Again, weather dependent, all the variables. The pump station is going to take a little longer. That'll be finished up in May of 2025. And those dates are important for this reason. We're taking down bonds, obviously, to pay for this project. And when we think about acquisition, I'd like you to think about a 2-step process. The first is an operation and maintenance agreement between Westover and the utility board that we would execute in the near term. And then the actual acquisition agreement, which I think we should negotiate at the same time, but not have it effective until the project is completed, or substantially completed. Why is that? Well, I don't want to see the bond council's head explode, frankly. We are the sponsors of that debt. We'll take down the project payments with an O&M agreement that would allow you, I think the best value engineers in the state, to be the owner's representative on that project. We have a contract with Thrasher Engineering, and they're engineering the project. We'll honor that contract, but what a great opportunity for us to make sure this job gets done the way MUB wants it done, and which is the best way, I'm sure. So that's why we think a 2-step process makes sense: a near-term O&M contract, and then a acquisition contract or a conveyance of the utility at substantial completion of the project, again, sometime May, June 2025. We've used this model before. I think that some of the old timers here, Chip with the gray hair, would tell us. We've done this 2-step process at MUB before. I think we're familiar with the dynamic. I think this is a great opportunity for the community. I like to read history, and one of the things I've read recently is when this is the first frontier. When the Virginians were settling this, including Washington wrote that the politics should be organized around the watersheds because he understood how important water is, as you do. I mean, this is about the past, the present, and the future of our community. Is how can we best protect this water? And I think the best way to protect this water is to have MUB be the sewer utility in Westover. In fact, I'm convinced of it. So our request to you is that the board indicate interest in directing the general manager to negotiate these 2 instruments, the O&M contract and the acquisition contract, and then report back to you, as I will report back to Westover Mayor and City Council on the terms and the prospects going forward. Madam Chair, I thank you for your time and attention, and subject to your questions, unless Jason has anything to add or repair. I think I've covered everything I needed to talk about.
Tim, I know you've been working a long time on a long-term control plan. Do you have any kind of date in mind for when that will be completed?
I missed the first part.
The long-term control plan?
I'm told we need 2 more substantial rains to finish out the flow data. So weather dependent, we should have it done in weeks, if not sooner. Of course, we then have to collate the data and evaluate it. But so final plan, certainly by midsummer, certainly. In engineer time, that's overnight. So, sorry, guys.
And I think you said you're anticipating construction on the sewer line, Holland Avenue part, August or September?
Yes,
Based on the
ma'am.
bids.
Depending on the bids. It's just as you guys know better than we actually. It's a strange marketplace right now, and so we're a little concerned about the bids. This is a challenging project of traffic being the center of the challenge. We would like to have gotten it done in the quiet summertime. It's just not the way it played out. So.
That is a Home Avenue's federal, so it's DOH. You have to deal with.
Yes, sir. What a pleasure. He said facetiously. What we've decided to do, Mr. Wilt, is to. I'm sorry, Mr. Witt, is to Professor Witt, is to finish the street ourselves. We tried to get the DOH to agree to do that work, but we will do that. The street restoration is just a happy consequence of replacing the sewer line. So we have to do that under our easement agreement, and we're going to do our best to make sure we use the kind of wearing surface that will at least diminish the what do you call that, washboarding effect that you see now there, and certainly the potholes as well.
Will that include placing of the base of the road too?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Bottom up. Yes, sir. The whole Megillah. Yeah.
And given plans coming forward on 7 this summer too, it probably is best to stack it instead of having it at the same time.
And Mr. Carlson, you got to just choke it down. It's going to be inconvenient for a while. I think what we're going to end up doing is 24-hour operations. I think the DOH is going to require us to do 24-hour operations. So we'll get it done as quickly as we can. And one of the ways to make sure we get it done correctly is to have MUB involved, to make sure your guys are looking at what's going in the ground.
Okay, the lift station, I think you gave us a tentative date of May of 2025.
It will lag behind the Holland Avenue. The Holland Avenue is a fairly simple job. The lift station, more challenging, including, of course, all the electrical and controls and things like that. So May 25. We think we'll take the last project draws there in late spring 25, and that's the time we would like to shake hands and have you take over the sewer utility. And that will keep the cash flow, the project cash flow and accounting simpler. And in those things, simpler is better, always.
Have you have any plans for storm sewer along that road?
Yes, sir. There's about $500,000 estimated in the project for storm drops and storm sewer connections. So yes, that's part of the project, and DOH would have required that anyway. But we planned that for that, and they've approved it, or the approval is pending.
Is there? Do we need a motion as far as continuing forward?
Not this evening. Wait for further discussion. So.
I'd like to say on my behalf, at the very least, as well as the board, I think this is a great opportunity for the community as a whole to continue making sure we're all pulling on the same side of the rope, and anything we can do to help out our brethren in Westover is a good thing.
Thank you.
And I just have one question, or just comment really, Tim, in terms of, I know council's, Morgantown City Council is very interested in the status of the project and as appropriate, updating with what you've shared in a written document would be very helpful to keep Morgantown City Council moving forward with the project as well and feeling like they're in the know.
With, I think your staff has got Schedule B as a project budget, which is really all we have right now as well, but certainly we'll keep you fully informed. And if you guys are operating and maintaining the utility, you'll certainly have firsthand knowledge of what's going on.
Yeah, just
Mr.
the
Rogers and his
timeline
people.
that you outlined was helpful for
Yes,
me,
sir.
so that I think would also be helpful.
I hope it's a realistic timeline. As you know, there are a lot of variables getting to shovel in the ground.
Yeah.
Well,
But
let me just say, I appreciate your optimism.
thank you, Madam Chair. You know, I try to live that way.
I know.
Well, yeah, if it's okay, Jason and I would like to exit the building and get on with our evening. I've got to go cook dinner, and I do thank you for your time and attention.
All right, thank you so much,
Thanks, bud.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
I think I know the way.
All right. On to the next item for new business, Van Voorhis Sanitary Sewer and Water Line Relocation Project.
Yes, so the West Virginia Division of Highways is upgrading Van Voorhis Road, and so the construction area will extend from Chestnut Ridge Road to West Run Road. As part of the project, sections of the existing water and sanitary sewer mains will need to be relocated and some even upgraded. And DOH will absorb those costs. Those are, they pay us back. So the project will include the installation of 1,100 feet of 8-inch SDR 35 PVC gravity sewer line. That'll be one contract. Another will be 1,690 feet of 8-inch PVC pipe, 6-inch rather PVC pipe water line, different contract. So we have put out the bid, and the lowest qualified bidder was Green River Group in the amount of $522,610, and we recommend the board approve that bid.
Okay, so now you've heard, do I have a? Do I have a motion to approve the bid?
Move to approve.
All right, is there a second?
I'll second.
Discussion.
It may be too preliminary to ask, but some questions that have been asked of me were to see if do we have a timeline yet on when this project would occur?
I don't think we do.
Okay.
It's DOH, it's a DOH project. I think it's going to happen this spring sometime, so spring, summer, but it's DOH driven really.
Okay.
I think I've got an update. Let me bring up my notes from a meeting yesterday. Van Voorhis starting, make sure this is the right. Oh. One moment, I'll find yesterday's notes and not another day.
And do we have a sense of how long it'll take to complete the project?
I think our portion of the project, you're probably talking 2 or 3 months, probably 2 months.
Yeah, according to Department of Highways, both projects, both Van Voorhis and West Run, are slated to start in the next few months, is what they said. So the aim would be
Nail it down.
this construction season.
Yeah, I was thinking about graduations.
Yeah, right, just in time.
Right.
All right.
And so we'll be able to concurrently do work with what MUB needs to do and DOH.
Yeah, with this, we would not have, this is all contractor work for this portion that we're talking about currently.
Okay.
MUB does have a portion in the work that we're getting ready to talk about, but in this one, it's all contract work.
Yeah, looks like with 6 bids in, that's pretty good.
Big variance, so.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we've had a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
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 Those opposed? Okay, Green River Group gets the bid. All right, second, the next one is Van Voris horizontal directional drilling and bore and jack project.
Yes, so that was bid as an additional contract. You have 400 feet of 8-inch HDPE water line that'll be installed by a directional drill method, and then about 60 feet of 36-inch steel casing by bore and jack. The lowest qualified bidder was Snyder and Son in the amount of $101,550, and it's our recommendation the board accept their bid.
Okay, do I have a motion?
I move to accept the bid in the amount of $101,550 that's submitted by Snyder and Son for the installation of approximately 400 lateral feet of 8-inch HDPE water line by directional drill method and installation of approximately 60 IV of 36-inch steel casing by bore and jack method and all other necessary appurtenances.
Pertinences.
That too.
Okay, that too. Okay, do I have a second?
Second.
All right, discussion. Hearing none?
Will,
Go
just,
ahead.
will this work be done simultaneously with the other work?
I'm not exactly sure.
Ideally?
Yes. It's not gonna be two separate
Yeah,
construction periods.
Right, right,
Correct.
right. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
We haven't gotten a sequence yet from the contractors to figure out what the sequence is, but it'll all be done at the same time, yes.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Okay.
Dr. Witt mentioned kind of the spread on the previous bid. This one, we had 3 come in, and a pretty significant difference between the low bid, medium, and high. Is there any concern that how low the bid is, or is this something that Snyder and Son is pretty
We're very
doing?
comfortable with Snyder and Son. I don't think we have any concern with their bid.
We've worked with them before,
Okay.
do an excellent job.
Excellent.
All right. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
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 Those opposed, motion carries. All right, Morgantown Mall water tank painting again.
Yeah, so we're, as part of our annual tank painting program, we're intending to repaint the 250,000 gallon Morgantown Mall water storage tank. The lowest qualified bidder was Worldwide Industries Corporation in the amount of $136,059, and we recommend the board accept their bid.
All right, do I have a motion?
I'll motion to accept Worldwide Industry Corporation's bid of $136,059 to paint the water tank at the Morgantown Mall.
Okay, second.
Second?
Discussion. I'm always amazed at how expensive it is to paint a water tank.
I have a question. Have we ever explored the possibility of getting partial underwriting by having a corporate or university decal placed on the tank?
Not that I'm aware of.
I don't know if it's done elsewhere.
I'm not, so one thing, there may be. if they're within-
Advertising.
Yeah, if they're within view of federal roads, there may be some
Oh.
blockage on something
Okay.
like that.
Okay.
Like I just remember the famous Florence Y'all water tower in Florence, Kentucky, which was originally painted Florence Mall, and they realized they could the U.S. Department of Highways made them get rid of that, so they took off the sides of the M and added an apostrophe.
Whatever works.
It's quite good.
Okay.
My minor league baseball team there is called the Y'alls now. It's great.
Okay. All right, so, all in favor of the motion, say aye.
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 Anyone opposed? Okay, motion carries.
One question on this. I know you said this is annual and we've been doing these each year. Do we have an order in which the tanks are being repainted?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we're probably, I don't know, 10 years out now with an order just based on priority, age, and things like that.
Great. Thank you.
Wow.
And it's real, one of the, you want to talk a little bit about the drone and what we've been doing with that? It's kind of a good time.
Sure. So we inspect our tanks annually. And that has, up until maybe this past year, has been done physically by us climbing stairs and inspecting. And this year we initiated, we have a drone and a pilot here on staff, and we've used the drone this year to help us with some of the tank inspection. And some of them are not the safest in the world to get up on. And so on those type of tanks, we've used our drone to get up there and give us a visual inspection where we can't get physically. And so it's been a real good tool for us to use.
And we've also purchased an underwater drone. We haven't had the opportunity to put it in service yet, but when the weather breaks and it's nice in some of our tanks, we plan to go out and do inspections with it on the interior of the tank.
Yeah, so a lot of our inspections are, peeking in and looking in from the outside, and this will give us a much better view of what our tank, looks like on the inside. So.
But then you have to go to the top of the tank to do that, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Well, use the one drone to drop the other one in. Right?
Oh, that's right.
That area's got to hit on what we call cat.
Now, when we paint these, we paint the inside and the outside.
We do.
We do.
So that means you have to drain them, you have to paint them, you have to dry them, sandblast the whole, okay, so it's a big job. I'm just trying to understand why it's so expensive.
I didn't realize we did the inside at the same time.
Mhm.
Wow, that is a lot.
So how
Now-
long does a typical tank take?
It just depends. Sometimes you get in there and there's some structural repairs you have to do, and that prolongs it obviously. But this will take a month.
Okay,
South Park tank we just did, we had several structural issues we had to deal with, so that took a lot longer, and we had to add to the cost of that one, but it was still a very successful project.
And these contractors have all the necessary insurance to cover any
Yes,
issues that occurred.
yes they do. Yeah, we make sure that they have all of their insurance just up to date.
okay, that brings us up to the annual stone contract.
So each year we try to bid out our stone. We do purchase quite a bit. And this year it was the Greer Limestone Company. They were the lowest qualified bidder in the amount of $316,925. We recommend the board accept their bid.
Okay, do I have a motion?
I'll motion to accept Greer Limestone Company's bid for the annual stone contract in the total of $316,925.
Okay, is there a second?
Second,
Discussion.
I have a question. This is estimated tonnage. If we don't if we don't procure all that's under the estimated tonnage, then we're not charged by it, or do we buy it?
We pay for what we
pay.
take.
Okay,
Yes.
so if we don't use it all, we have the proper storage for the stone, or does it reside at?
They deliver when we order.
Okay,
Don't want to build a building to store it.
no.
It's a lot more flexible than the salt contracts that cities have to deal with.
Yeah,
Mhm.
interesting. Okay, on to old business, Chief View
I
PSD.
believe we still have the vote.
Oh, did we not vote? I'm sorry. All in favor of the bid from Greer Limestone Company for $316,925, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Okay, now, Chief View.
Okay. The only thing to report is we're still waiting on the Public Service Commission of West Virginia to issue the order approving the acquisition.
Okay. Cheat Lake wastewater collection system upgrades.
Yes, first I'd like to mention in the agenda I had a bid approval, but there is none. We'd already previously done that, and I apologize for that error. We're about 60% complete with design, so our engineering firm, Strand Associates, is doing a great job. The geotechnical report out on the main site is nearly completed, and I believe they were at the Greystone lift station today boring as well. So they're making great progress, and I think that we're also going to have the Army Corps wetland delineation will have to be completed for that site. So I think that's going to add some time and expense to the overall project.
Okay. Moving on, office renovations.
Yeah, so we had hoped to have another agreement this evening to present to the board from our architects, but they were unable to get it ready for this evening. So we have been answering some questions and working with them, and we should have it for the next meeting.
Okay, good. Upper Pocono Sanitary and Storm Restoration Project.
So the design is completed. We should have bid documents the first week of April. We've acquired all the permits. We still have a few easement issues we're working with. I think Jeff may have been working with a couple property owners and have gotten some more in.
Yeah, we've narrowed it down greatly. We're down to literally a handful at this point.
Wow, I'm happy we
great.
got all of the permits. Great. Took some more.
And Mike, just to, I was just asked to make a point on this one that the ARPA funds that the city's designated for this project need to be under contract by the end of the year. And so just to hope that we can put that out to bid, find a contract and have it designated.
Yes, we should, where we are with design right now, we should well in
Well
that
within
time
that.
period, yes.
Cool. All right.
Yeah, so we'll, those ARPA funds can go first in the pay apps, and that would be our intention to pull those dollars down up front, and then MUB's dollars will go in on the back. And just to note, WDA, since they're administering all the economic enhancement grant dollars, their dollars will go in on the front end, which is typically, not the way they'll do it. They'll put grants on the back, but they need to get these dollars out before the end of next year. So we will be sending over invoices.
Absolutely.
They say, "Show me the money."
Or the contract, whatever. Thanks.
So EPA Brownfields grant, I want to let Rich talk about. We had a pre-bid today, and there's some great news there.
Good.
Yeah, so Greenbrier Environmental Group put together plans and specs for the demolition work, and the mandatory pre-bid was this morning at 10 a.m. and there were 13 separate contractors. So very good turnout. Hopefully they all submit bids. Bids are due, I think questions are due by the 15th and bids are due on the 28th of March. So
Good.
making progress.
Rich, remind me the bids for the work to be done, we're capping that at the highest level for
I think it's a cap.
future use?
Once you're capping, it meets all the levels.
So
there's no
recreation.
There's no designing it to recreation. And once you cap it, it's capped. And
Okay.
So there shouldn't be an issue with any of the levels.
Thanks.
Good. Okay, Westridge.
So right now, we have our own staff out in part of the project area taking down trees. So we will be well ahead of next year of having to wait, and so we can get to bid on the project. We've got our permits from CSX and Norfolk and Southern for the railroad crossings. We are waiting on permits from the Army Corps of Engineers and West Virginia Division of Highways, controlled access, and we have received a deed for Monview for the water booster station property. So we are making progress.
Sounds good. Okay, you might as well go one under your general manager.
Just go straight through. Okay, so West Virginia PA Insurance is, we switched over to PIA about 3 years ago and joined the program. Even though that this year's rate increase for non-state members is right at 14%, we're still paying $125,000 less than what we were paying back in 2021. with the health plan. So it's my recommendation to the board that we keep our benefits at the current level. That's proven to be an excellent recruiting tool, and I think that it's great for our employees, and it's great that they have good health care, keeping everybody healthy and on the job. So that's the plan for the budget that you will see that we will be bringing to the board. Is to keep the same level.
Good. All right, Baird Street.
Okay, so National Gunite has completed the installation of the lining material. Everything was very successful, good project. So we are pleased that everything is now completed.
Good.
I think as part of our stormwater program, we always participate in the West Virginia Make It Shine each year. We're going to be doing some work right around Baird Street, as along that property and down along the rail trail right there.
It seems to be a magnet for trash. Right there off the end of Baird Street,
Yeah.
down the hill. So
Are there trash collections down there? Do they have bins or anything? Is that where they?
No, just pretty much our
Because I don't
property.
remember that they do. It's just okay. So I was just,
It's interesting what you will find. I didn't really, the wind is so bad up there, those sandbags just blow over the mountain.
that's amazing. It's strong wind.
truly amazing.
Morgantown. Oh,
Yeah, you look at that, you just shake your head and think, man, if you could get somebody that put that much energy in a job.
yeah. Well, go down and pick it up and bring it back.
Well, when you look at the age of this table,
Oh, I'm
Barb.
not saying not you guys, not you guys.
So, right now, North High Street, we are, as part of the city's,
This side of the table, that's a shame. Okay.
so, getting back to the serious business. Yes, in conjunction with city paving, we're always trying to work together and stay ahead. And also with West Virginia University's planned installation of a new steam pipeline, we're going to try to, we're getting started on the replacement of about 350 feet of 8-inch water line. We're going to do some spot repairs on the existing sanitary and storm sewer mains. This would be in preparation to perform some future lining work on both pipes. And we're also going to replace around 7 existing stormwater inlets and add an inlet. Right now, we've already started doing some of that work where the students are out this week. So there is a little bit of traffic disruption, but I think we're closing part of the street through the day. We open up in the evening, but overall, I think it's going to be pretty smooth.
Is this going straight up the hill?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes, and
from Mormon.
From Borman up? Okay. Okay.
So Beechhurst Avenue, of course, that's you've heard about that. It's been on the.
Sat there and watched it for a while,
Got
actually,
to
one day.
visit.
I was out there today.
Yeah.
Took a while.
Well, I would thank you for not calling me and letting me know how
I
long it's taking you to
knew we
get
were
through
doing
town.
everything we could do to get out of there.
So I believe today we put asphalt over top and it's going to set overnight, and we should have things open back up tomorrow, the center lane. So
Terrific.
hopefully all will be well. And if it's not, Joey and I will have to have a discussion about that.
Oh, boy.
So Morgan Run, we've talked about Senate Bill 176, which passed out of the Senate, was referred to the House Finance Committee. Unfortunately, 176 was not acted upon. So we are very disappointed that that did not occur, because our project at Morgan Run was the perfect project for that bill. However, last Thursday, Corey Jones was contacted by an official with the West Virginia Department of Environmental Protection, Office of Abandoned Mine Lands and Reclamation. So we had contacted them about the issues. There had been, we understand there had been mining in the area. Some of it is pre-77, which does qualify, well, I should say pre-1977, which qualifies for AML grants. And so they are getting started to obtain some water samples, analyze the water, and meet with folks that live out there. So that's hopefully another avenue to help get some funding for the project.
And they initiated this contact.
Mhm.
Amazing.
We
That's good.
we had submitted some paperwork, and then they came back to us.
Okay, so
and
they
said,
were made aware of
Yeah,
it.
they were made aware of it.
Okay.
Yes, and so we're kind of crossing our fingers that we could. It's I've worked with AML money before in my other positions. They're a great group to work with. It's just a bit on the slow side for people, but it's a process like anything in government. But if you do qualify, it's a great grant to have. And so
Good.
if there's a percentage of impact that we can qualify for, that's dollars we would not have had otherwise.
All right, Baker's Ridge.
So Baker's Ridge, Van Voorst Developments, they have been in contact with us on and off. There are right now there are 5 package plants in the area, and we've met with 4 of the package plants HOA owners to discuss a proposed extension to eliminate their existing package plants and acquire the existing sanitary sewer systems. Now, just so everyone understands, when a group approaches the utility, we are obligated under PSC rules to start a process with them and provide a estimate of cost and allow them the opportunity to start looking at that and decide whether they want to move forward. And so they would like us to continue to move forward. We still need to meet with one other package plant owner, that would be the Mountaineer Mobile Home Park. But we need to get with them, and I think Corey's trying to schedule something, Rich.
Yes.
So that's it is something we are discussing, and it's very preliminary at this time, but I wanted the board to get it on their radar, because you're going to hear probably more about this as time goes on.
That would be a huge project.
It would be a big
Because it has to
project.
go to Star
Star
City.
City.
Yes, it would go to Star
It'd
City.
be a little over 2 miles of force main.
Wow, big project, okay. See how that goes. All right, legislative update.
Yes, I'm going to turn the mic over to Jeff here.
All right. I think probably the most significant bill that was passed is Senate Bill 544, which increased the bid threshold from $25,000 to $50,000. So I think that's going to give us a lot more flexibility, with projects, and avoid a lot of the delay that we experienced having to go out to bid.
A $25,000 project isn't what it used to be.
No, and nothing we do is at $25,000 hardly, so, oh my
The
goodness.
second bill of interest was Senate Bill 631. Apparently, there was some heavy-handedness by some stormwater utilities in the eastern panhandle in turning off water service for the failure to pay stormwater fees. The original bill was to prohibit water from being turned off for failure to pay stormwater fees. We lobbied hard against that because we have $6+ million that are secured by stormwater fees, so we have to have a mechanism to collect. The sponsor of the bill worked with us and came up with essentially 2 things. In order to turn off water, you have to follow the PSC's rules on terminating water service. We already do that.
Seems reasonable.
Already do that. Second thing is we have to create a review board that's made up of one person from MUB's board, one person from City Council, and one ratepayer. Chances are that board will never meet, but it needs to be in place. So at a meeting in the future, we'll probably put that together. We'll need to put that together, but as of right now, the bill's not effective. It hasn't been signed by the governor.
So what would the role of that board be? Just to review the decisions?
If if a customer has a complaint about their water being turned off or the rate that they're being charged, they can appeal to that review board.
Now, would that only address stormwater, or would it address all cutoffs?
Stormwater.
Okay.
Could Dave be the member for all three since he fits the?
I think the bill does envision 3 people.
I think he could certainly fit the city council member portion of that, and somebody else would be the MUB board. And then we
Someone
need
else would be a
five.
ratepayer,
A ratepayer.
so we're all
We're all
ratepayers.
ratepayers.
Yeah, so, I don't know, is there any of the other?
No, I think, I really don't think there's anything that of a great magnitude that will have an effect on it, other than fire hydrant. They did promulgate or will allow the PSC to have make rules for fire hydrants. We have, through our association with West Virginia Rural Water Association, our membership rather, we have asked the chairman of the commission to set up a working group to give everyone the opportunity to have input into these new fire hydrant regulations and how those will come out, to the regulated utilities. So
Always something else on the agenda. Okay. Any other questions? Time for board member discussions,
I have
comments?
I have a comment. Last Tuesday, I had the pleasure of introducing Barbara, Mike, and Ken Hacker at the Cheat Lake Rotary Club for a presentation on what MUB does, and in particular with a focus on the upgrades that are going to occur at the Cheat Lake wastewater plant. We had a lot of good discussion, and since that time I've had a lot of good feedback on MUB's presentation and the interest that the people have in the area of continuing to get additional information as that develops. And I think during that presentation, Mike, someone in the audience raised the question whether there would be additional public meetings, and Mike indicated as we get more details, we probably will have another public meeting.
absolutely.
Not a
we will.
probably, we will,
We will
definitely.
definitely.
But thank you for coming.
Well, thank you for inviting us.
Yes,
I
it was-
enjoyed it. It was a nice breakfast. We got to meet a lot of people with particular interest in their project out there, which of course is a big commitment and a lot of money and will take some time. And so it will be something we will be proud of, and it certainly help that community increase their capacity. So thank you again. We'll come anytime you want to invite us, especially for
Well,
breakfast.
we don't want to do it that often.
And we are going to participate in the First Ward community meeting, I think coming up in about 2 weeks. We've been invited to come over, so Chris Dell and I are going to go over and be part of that. And then the City of Morgantown's program that they do with the citizens, we're going to participate in an evening discussion. Barbara's going to come over and be part of that, and so we're going to put on a presentation there to talk about what MUB does and what we're doing in our community and future plans. So we're excited. I think it's a great way to get the word out and give citizens an opportunity to ask questions and learn more about what we do on a daily basis.
Which, do you know what date y'all are doing that one?
April something.
I
I wrote it down somewhere else.
It might be in your calendar, Barbara. I don't have my phone to tell you the exact date. And we're still waiting, I think, on a few details about how much time we have and what time our presentation would be and that sort of thing. But they wanted to make sure we were agreeable to come over and wanted to participate. And absolutely we do, so.
They've only met once, I think, so far. I haven't had a chance, and I was going to put some of those on my schedule, so, if it matches
it's a
up,
good
I'd like
one.
to join you all.
Yeah.
That'd be great, yeah.
That'd be good.
It'd be great if you could come over.
All right, any other comments? None? All right, we have some items to discuss. an executive session. Do I have a motion to convene to executive session?
I move to convene an executive session of the Board of Directors under the provisions of West Virginia Code Sections 6-9A-4, paragraphs 2, 9, and 12, to discuss personnel matters, advanced construction planning, and other confidential matters which are exempt from disclosure under the West Virginia Freedom of Information Act, and further move to adjourn this meeting at the conclusion of the executive session.
Okay, do I have a second?
I second.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, we'll adjourn for about 5-10 minutes.